actually stop on the second one though. Once it was clear, it went. Overall, this, like I think a lot of experienced testers will say the same thing. That if you imagine yourself as a passenger in a robotaxi, I believe it will completely alter the perception of what you care about as far as the exact behaviors that it does. It's just the fact that you have access to the controls. The moment that it's not doing something exactly like you would want it to do, you have a tendency to kind of criticize it. But I think once you move yourself outside of the driver's seat, a lot of these nuanced behaviors don't really matter in the scheme of things.
Wow.
I didn't realize that car was
So, I mean,
pulling
overall, really good.
No, I did realize the car.
It did, I didn't.
Yeah.
All along the way.
Exactly, I didn't either.
I would have just thought they were parked back there, then could have crashed or something.
Omar, how are you doing over there?
Yeah, I just had a really interesting moment. There was a car right behind us, and, it was just kind of stopped on the side of the road just like we were, and just as I turned on FSD, it pulled out right behind me, and the car kind of paused and waited for it, and then it pulled out right after that car did. So Alexis was just remarking that, wow, this might have been, I didn't realize that car was pulling out. That's something that could have been an accident if I were driving potentially and decided to start driving at that moment. But the car can actually tell based on, the lights and little subtle details like that people might miss, that it might have actually pulled out. And in fact, it did pull out right as FSD was engaged. So I got that on video. I can post a clip of that later.
Great.
Yeah, benefits.
That's awesome. Yeah, I do feel safer when FSD is on. And I try to have it on, although I understand when people don't, because,
really...
I think in this space we understand how the software works and where it kind of messes up and why it messes up. And sometimes it does kind of decisions that I wouldn't do. But having talked about the software over the years, I understand why it's doing it, so it doesn't rattle me as much as it can other people.
I think even those
FSD
people I wouldn't have seen.
Yeah, so I'm out here. I just had a situation where I wouldn't quite call it Chuck's left because the speed limit's only about 35, but definitely a blind left where you have to creep out in order to see the traffic down the way. And it did essentially a perfect job of creeping out, and there actually was a car as we peeked out behind the building, and it was not scary at all, very natural. And then once the car was out of the way, we went smoothly and naturally. And here we are at some railroad tracks. Perfectly. Oops, okay. Nope, we're fine. So it kind of bit off on a little bit of a wrong path there. Self-corrected.
Beautiful.
Though.
It's much more natural now. It really goes for
not
it.
Perfect, but
safely,
no incident at all. No disengagement.
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, great, Michael.
I just wanted to ask the beta testers,
There's no hesitation.
Omar or FSD beta, if you're driving on multi-lane roads, do you notice a difference in like the previous? Sometimes it would lane dance or have some indecision between lanes. Did you notice any differences?
I haven't seen any lane indecision so far. As I drive it, it just seems more and more impressive. I just had a moment where I was turning left onto Lombard Street. I was one intersection away, one block away. And normally when you're at a stop sign like that, it takes its sweet time and it ends up missing the green light. It took off, it hurried, and just went the appropriate speed. Not too fast, not too slow. Got there right at the right time and just made the left turn perfectly. Waited for a car to pass and then started turning left immediately after they passed. Just very, very smooth. Very human-like. You can definitely see it's a step ahead of the previous build.
Yeah, I think I'm starting to form the same opinion. It seems very good. I mean, 12.3 was already good as a whole, and we're at the point now where it's just polished, and a lot of things are, smoothing off the rough edges in a certain area or not. But back to the last question, I do have one street where it's probably 3 to 3.5 lanes wide, but it's not painted. So there's actually no lanes defined. And yeah, I found that it actually would kind of choose its offset and maintain that throughout the entire portion. So I didn't see any wavering at all.
Thank you. Hey, Michael, I just saw your message.
I think it's also
Do you want to tell us here too?
a little bit sooner now, which is good.
Whoa.
was just
There was a car blocking the entrance there and it still got in. That was really smart. That was so cool.
He's like, why are you talking to people at 12:30? And I'm like, listen, 12.4.1, it just dropped.
Hey, babe, 12.4.1 just dropped.
You up?
Hey, yeah, exactly.
Me.
Hey, you know what I recommend people? Like, FSD, I'm gonna put you on. FSD, can you put
Hey, wait,
yourself
what the
on
hell?
mute with the steering wheel?
That's not where I wanted to go.
That can be your new nag.
Right.
Maybe.
I wanted to go
If I'm
here.
lucky.
See, that's kind of annoying. having
What
that
I tell
when you need
people
to
is that
change
you
the
know we
map
have
or
these
something.
spaces for multiple hours, and there are now multiple spaces going on too. And it's good to kind of be among everybody with similar kind of mindset. You know, we don't have to agree on everything, but I think Tesla investors, Tesla fans, Tesla customers, employees, they think a little different on average. And I think it's good to have these spaces. And so, but on the other hand, I really don't like it that I'm taking away from people's family time, time with their kids or spouses, etc. So
Hey, you could
my
still do
solution to that is bring them in here. Bring them in here, have them like I think over time people get interested in technology as they learn more about it. They get more interested in Tesla. So kind of have them try it and preferably with their own accounts. So you can actually spend time with them together in here when we have the space on. I think that would be the best solution going forward. But that's just, I'm biased. I get it.
Talking about
Yoda?
how it got around that car.
Oh yeah.
On the block.
Yeah, this show is
the entrance of the
definitely
turn.
causing issues in my work life and my relationships.
We also do therapy.
But I like how it's turning the blinker on before. It would do it kind of more last minute, or at least it did it in Oklahoma, and that kind of bothered me.
We have a bunch of requests to speak from people I've never seen before.
All right, so the driver monitoring is super strict. It comes on within a second, but the good news is you just have to look at the road to get it to go away. Saw a couple more impressive moves. One thing that we noticed is that the blinker's coming on earlier, which is great. And then another thing that was impressive is it had to make a right turn, but there was a car blocking the street, like, the street that you had to turn right on. It was kind of sticking, half of the car was sticking into the road where we had to turn right. And it just smoothly and without any hesitation just went around it and completed the right turn anyway. Whereas previous versions probably would have hesitated, stuttered, and ultimately probably decided to go straight after kind of moving the steering wheel back and forth. It just kind of very smoothly took the correct trajectory, which was very impressive. And yeah, also there was somebody on a motorcycle right now facing in front of the car. It just kind of did a really quick brake, but then continued on the way without like stopping or slowing too much. So that was also kind of impressive. So yeah, the more I'm using it, the more it's really showing off its functionality here.
Omar, for you and your passenger, would you say you are more comfortable or less comfortable or about the same?
About the same, but it does feel more human-like. What do you think?
Definitely feels more human-like. It has that kind of assertiveness that I feel like sometimes it's a little bit slower to do things before.
All right, so that was cool. We had the road blocked by a car turning in to a parking lot. Then we had a DoorDash driver getting into their car. It started going around them, but then they started moving, and it got behind them, all completely naturally, without a moment of jerkiness or weirdness. It's pretty impressive.
Oh yeah, that's another thing. It hasn't done.
So if we didn't tell you that your car got today's update,
yeah,
would you notice a difference?
I think I would. Obviously, the giveaway is the no nag. That's the hugest difference. You can tell right away from the green dot that it's 12.4. But yeah, it does seem to be more human-like in its driving. We haven't had any interventions, and we're headed now to Coit Tower.
Slowed down for this.
Yeah, really good slowing down for the speed bumps as usual. And we haven't noticed any of that lane hesitation where it changes lanes, then goes back to the original lane, then completes the lane change. It's just done it all smoothly so far.
That's good. Are you using auto speed, Omar?
I am, yeah. It actually came pre-enabled on this new Model 3, I'm assuming because it pulled it from my cloud profile.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I like the auto speed, but
See Omar, be like Omar. He's got 12.4.1. Is right away with his SD card, recording video, has his girlfriend in the space. Alexis, right? Is that right?
That's right.
Yeah, you met her.
All right.
Yeah, we met in Austin.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. Are you guys coming down to shareholder? Like, if you come to shareholder meeting, we can meet again. And
maybe. We're thinking about it. If we get an invite,
there you go.
Maybe.
When is she creating content? FSD content?
She's, helping me create this content right now.
It's all me, really.
All right, great. Marcus.
Hey, so Omar and FSD Beta, my biggest issue with 12.3.6 was when you would come in off of a high-speed road down to like a residential area. The car would struggle to get down to an appropriate residential speed. Have you noticed the auto speed offset for residential areas a little bit smoother, or does it still come flying in at like 35, 40 miles an hour?
Well, I'm in San Francisco right now. People drive at pretty low speeds here, so I'm not sure I've really seen anything that matches the scenario you're describing.
All right, invest in Tesla. You may unmute yourself and go ahead.
Hey, I had a question on the lane turn, but I think Omar already answered it. I'm good, thanks.
Okay, great. David Stelk, go ahead. David, you have to unmute yourself for us to hear you.
Mm-hmm. That's really nice. It's doing so good.
Figures it out. A beer.
I'm glad I got to drive it.
Go ahead.
When I did the test drive, so I can.
Hi everyone. I was
feel
just
it.
wondering if having IR illuminators in the cabin helps with the driver monitoring, because I think the 2022 and
yeah, that was good.
afterwards
It wasn't a
these
speed
Model
bump, it was
Ys
just
have
a
it,
bump.
but Model
Right.
T doesn't. So just curious if you guys know something.
Omar.
I wasn't paying attention. One good moment I just noticed is it slowed down for a bump. Not a speed bump, but just unevenness in the road. And it was able to anticipate that and slow down a little bit. I thought that was really nice. What was the question?
Can you repeat?
Yeah, sure. So I was just asking if having IR illuminators in the cabin help with driver monitoring during the night, because some cars have it, some cars don't. Just wondering how that affects.
It works at night. It's night right now. I'm using it. I had it with the lights off. I don't think anybody's going to have any problem using it at night. They've been building cars with IR blasters since 2021. So most cars made over the last 3 years have IR blasters, and they can see in the dark.
I see. Thank you.
And this is why we have Omar in the States, because if he wasn't here and you asked that question, I'd be like, what the hell is the IR illuminator?
Well, infrared light is light that's outside the visible spectrum on the red side. So it's light that the human eye can't see. So, your TV remote, for example, emits infrared light. So you can't see that sort of beam of light or that radio wave that's going out to your TV because it's outside the visible spectrum. So just like the camera can see in the visible spectrum, it can also see in the infrared spectrum. And then they have an IR blaster that kind of just shoots out infrared light, illuminates the scene with an invisible light that you can't see, and then it bounces off and they can see your face. It's the same technology that makes Face ID work. Face ID has a little IR blaster in your iPhone, and it blasts a pattern of dots on your face. And then it can use that to authenticate you. Even if it's pitch black, you've noticed Face ID works. So that's what the infrared blaster does.
Thank you. That's great. I learned something new today. Cass Weegent, you may unmute yourself and go ahead. Cass Weegent.
Okay.
No,
We got some people here turning left.
Yeah, David.
Hey guys, I just wanted to ask about the discrepancy between full self-driving set speed and the actual speed of the car. I notice on a lot of high-speed highways, I don't know if that's because of the highway stack not being fully merged yet, it's always under. It always hesitates to be up to the speed that you want it to be on. And yeah, thanks for taking my question.
Omar?
For me, it drives at the set speed on highways. But if it's not feeling confident driving at the set speed, for example, if the road is curved or something like that, then it can choose a lower speed. So it could be that there's a bug in your area that's making it feel that it needs to drive at a lower speed than it actually does. So I would maybe just disengage and leave a voice note and see if that helps anything. Are you saying this is the auto speed, or you're setting the speed yourself?
Setting the speed myself, and you're definitely right. It does have the road that I've used it on version 12.3.6. It is curvy.
Well, the good news is FSD 12.5 is going to have a brand new highway stack that's end-to-end. So it should fix a lot of the issues like you're describing, hopefully.
Okay, awesome. Thanks so much.
Yes, Weegent, go ahead.
It's really good. Just doesn't make any mistakes, really.
I know. And people always say it's human-like, but humans can't stay in the lane like this or, do things as perfectly.
Yeah.
So it's kind of getting to the point where it's better. Mm-hmm. Arguably already is better than a lot of people.
Yeah.
Omar, would you like to answer that?
I couldn't hear the question.
Yeah, he's asking about miles to intervention between FSD and Waymo, and also if there is a level that you believe it's going to lead to an inflection point in FSD take rate.
Once you get above 12,000 miles, your average person will never experience an intervention again. Because, there's only one a year, so maybe they get one a year, or the system continues improving at such a rate that it just basically never occurs again, right? So really, like 12 to 18,000, at that point, you can actually start to do some driverless testing. Waymo's test fleet's about 18,000 miles. Their autonomous fleet is about 80,000 miles. So really between 18 to 80,000 miles, that's where you really achieve escape velocity, where you're now driverless and you're just scaling far beyond human levels of reliability. Very quiet car.
I know. It's one of my favorite things about the road noises,
Yeah. Really smooth choosing the speed here. Oh, look, it's a Waymo. Speak of the devil. Two robots passing each other.
In the night. I wonder if
Complexity.
Blah.
I wonder if they think, hey, that car's like me.
Yeah, probably.
Hold on. I gotta intervene here.
I feel like there's someone we're not hearing.
He didn't say that. Let me pull up the exact. Yeah, it's very important that we don't misquote Elon. So if there's any question, ambiguity, uncertainty, let's just pull up and read.
Right,
We have
cool.
time. These are the benefits of long
Beautiful.
form space.
75 feet, navigate on autopilot.
What else do I have to do on the Friday?
Navigate on autopilot.
Here's the
Alright, where should we
of their
go
screens.
next?
Elon says
Raising it?
We don't have to go there quite yet.
Okay,
12.5
Sometime.
will be
a
out.
couple
We'll see a
more minutes.
major.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not the one. Give me 1 second.
I'm trying to see where we are. Oh good, it's starting so I can see the map. Ooh, City Lights bookstore. I was wanting to go there.
Yeah, we should go there.
5x to 10x tweets.
Alright, let's have it take us to
Okay, yeah,
maybe...
All right. 12.4 goes at the internal list, roughly 5x to 10x improvement in miles per intervention versus 12.3.
Chinatown's always cool, especially at night. It's all lit up.
12.5 will
That's
be out
true.
in
That could
late
be good.
June.
And I could go like
couple
through
weeks
there, so
old,
just
a few
somewhere
weeks
else.
old. Where is the
A lot
one
of things
once
really
a year?
annoying.
Hold on one second.
That's fine. Better than having a nag.
True, having to like outreach on touch and everything.
Yeah.
Hotel. Triton.
Triton.
That's right by the entrance to Chinatown.
Perfect.
We have it pinned.
It's really good at getting you to watch the road.
It is.
We're gonna have the most observant drivers of all time on FSD.
Yeah, no one else on the road is gonna be as observant. Even like when I was on FSD, it kind of I was not paying as much attention. I was like, what to do? No, I was paying attention. But,
Okay, thank you. Let me see.
Kind of elsewhere.
Okay, great. 12.4.1 released today to Tesla employees. This was 2 days ago. If that goes well, then it will be released to a limited number of external customers this weekend. There are a massive number of changes to this build. It should arguably be called V13, but we're sticking to 12. Two other versions are in earlier stages of testing, 12.5 and 12.6, which could be called V14 and V15. And here's what he says. He says, we are starting to get to the point where once known bugs are fixed, it will take over a year of driving to get even one intervention. So it doesn't say 12.6 is going to get there. It says we're starting to get there, right? Yeah. Well, thank you for finding the tweet. Henrik, go ahead.
Hi, can I ask about the...
There was that one bug.
Tesla
Were you with me that time?
What?
When the lanterns were stopping it?
Oh, no. I
Yeah,
don't think
sure.
so. I think we've
Oh, yeah, that was...
I have one, and it's brand
That was
new.
Ryan.
And I know you guys are working on a new one. And I was wondering if it's going to have any software release to make the car even more powerful.
I guess because
I don't know of any plans for software release to make the Model Y performance even faster.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question. If I hear anything, I will announce it. We'll talk about here.
This is so
Did you actually found a Brazilian steakhouse?
Yes, I'm the owner of H&H Brazilian Steakhouse in downtown LA, and in Beverly Hills as well.
Wow.
Well, that's awesome.
Can I come?
Yeah, man.
That looks good. Yeah.
Yeah, if you can go my file there, I'm owner of H&H Residency House, 2 restaurants, and also I'm the owner of FK Biden meme coin on Solana.
What's that?
That's great, man.
Fuck
That looks
Biden.
delicious.
Oh.
Thank you.
Even
Thank
the
you.
steak in there. Yeah.
Of
All
course.
right, we
Meme
have.
coin.
All right, sounds good. If I'm ever in LA, we'll go with Omar.
Thank you.
Motherhead's in the house. Motherhead, are you shaking in your shorts right now?
No, I'm not. I'm actually I'm covering my shorts.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
When?
No, I already like cut it down like this week to like I only have like one put position left. It's very tiny.
Okay. So when are you gonna go long?
I'm not going long. I mean, I would go long if they would like lay out a clear strategy on how they can get like new cars on the road and stuff like that. I mean, that's what they really need, is to say like, here's what kind of model we have for this segment, why, and here's what we have for this segment, why, where it's going to sell the best, where it's going to like expand to later. This is the kind of stuff that
another Tesla.
Unfortunately, Musk
I wonder if they're on
does
FSD.
not provide the investors with. But the
like
reason I wanted
really
to,
slow,
by the way,
nice,
great
going
space,
up this
by the way.
big steep hill.
Actually, I think he was.
Love your spaces and have been listening to the recordings.
2 have robots passing each other again. Maybe he was testing 12.4.1.
Is Omar still there?
Yeah, I'm here. What's up?
There.
Hey, Omar. Happy Friday. Happy Saturday from where I am. But I just wanted to ask, did you read the 2 NHTSA scathing letters that they published against Tesla FSD on April 29th, and then like 6 days later they put out like two scathing letters aimed at Tesla, to Tesla, within like 12 days. And I was just wondering, did you read those complaints that they had about FSD?
Brad the dumb fuck.
I think I did, yeah.
And so I think I was actually like traveling, so I didn't like catch all of it, but I believe one of the things that they were concerned about was the nag, and the basic sort of like the general thing they were concerned about was like that they asked Tesla to recall FSD and fix these things that allowed FSD to have people like become lackadaisical and not like keep their hands on the wheel. And so one of the things was the nag, and then now you're talking about the nag. First I saw Elon tweet about the nag being removed, and I thought, oh my god, that's like he's like all out raging war with NHTSA. But then now you're driving it, and I'm hearing about what you're saying about the nag. Just wondering what your thoughts are. Is like do you think NHTSA will be satisfied by this fix in the nag that you're now experiencing? And they have to. I mean, Tesla has to answer by July 1st to NHTSA. Do you think they'll be able to answer, sufficely?
Yeah, I think they've been in discussions with NHTSA for a very long time about this. I think that they, Elon first started tweeting about removing the nag over a year ago, I think in January of 2023 maybe. So I think they made this move really in consultation with them. The steering wheel nag is removed, meaning you can go hands-free if it can see your eyes. But the cabin camera monitoring has become much more strict. So I think the regulators are going to be satisfied that this update actually takes us to the next step. Although Elon's kind of marketing the positive side, there is also the negative of it becoming much more strict. So I think they'll be satisfied with that. NHTSA has also recognized that there are issues where people were accidentally disengaging the system or believed the system was on when it wasn't because of the requirement to touch the wheel, and that could sometimes result in accidental disengagements. And they cited that as a source of accidents. So I think this goes a long way towards improving the system, actually increasing driver responsiveness, and I think the regulators will be happy because honestly, anybody who's using this is going to be paying way more attention to the road than anybody who's driving manually and using their phone.
Okay, thanks. In terms of like foolproofness,
yeah,
I mean, I think the NHTSA was like really sort of pissed off about the fact that they asked them to make it foolproof, and it wasn't foolproof. So compared to the last version, how much improvement have you seen percentage-wise for the quality of being foolproof, versus before the previous version?
Well, I haven't put it through any stringent testing, but I can tell you right away that the old system could let you go, several seconds. You could go 5 seconds, 10 seconds sometimes using your phone before it would beep at you. This new system will start showing an alert within just 1 to 3 seconds. So I think regulators will be satisfied that this takes the safety system and the attention monitoring to a new level. But I think customers are also really going to like it and find it easier than the old system as well.
Thanks, Omar. Really appreciate it.
Why are you being so nice?
It's usually not nice.
What's
He's a short.
What's going on here?
Oh, at least
he's usually pretty nice.
I don't know about that. What's going on? Are you trying to become a bull?
No, not at all. No. I'm in a bear's cave right now, lion's den, and I'm trying to be as polite as possible. But no, to be honest, if I have any questions about FSD, there are two people I'd like. Well, let's put it this way: 3 people I'd want to go to, because I don't pay attention to FSD very much. One is Omar for the positive spin on it. 2 is Dan O'Dowd for the negative spin on it, and then the third person is Miss Jillybean, who's like sort of in between. So it's like, I think it'd be great to have those 3 people talk about it. I think there has been space with them all, but given that I don't look at FSD very much, that's why. And I appreciate.
Is it true that you got squeezed on GME?
I've never invested in GME. That's
information to must be wrong. Is it true?
I would never squeeze GME. I mean, I would never short GME. Sorry.
Okay. Is it true that you were bashing my space in another space?
What did you hear?
I hear things.
I know, but I don't think I always sort of stand up for you. So I don't understand.
I heard that.
You know what? Sorry, I was. It had to do with you're questioning me on one of your spaces, where you needed a bare view, and I provided the bare view, and I used the term net cash to equity, and you said who even uses that, and every auto analyst in the world, any industrials analyst in the world uses that metric. So I think I was on the call.
I heard that.
I was gonna try.
I heard that you told people I was a bad moderator.
Only you can back up.
No, you're actually. I think you're. Look at you with your spaces, right? You're doing quite well with it, right? So you're probably one of the best moderators out there. In fact, I find you a better moderator than some of these really big accounts who are also, Tesla fans. I forget their names.